My student, Tayandra, she wrote a poem. A couple months ago, we were talking about bullying, and there's this big bully, I can't remember exactly what you would call it, but we were trying to teach the kids about how to not bully. And so she came up with this poem, and she did not get a chance to read it in front of her peers. And so a couple of weeks after that, my reading coach said, hey, there's this poetry contest going on. Do you have any students who, would like to submit their poem? And I said, oh, yes, Tayandra, the poem that she came up with a couple weeks ago, this would be perfect for that. So I went and talked to her, and we got together, and on lunch, she came in a couple days in my classroom and typed it out, and then we saved it and edited it, and then we sent it in like the day before it was due. And then a couple months later, I had learned that she won. And so we were very excited that she won. So I'm really happy about that. She was excited also. It was almost like she couldn't believe it, And this is one of the students that I really root for. A lot of times as a teacher, I kind of go for the kid that maybe is not as popular, or maybe the kids might tease or pick on, or maybe a really quiet kid who doesn't get as much attention as some of the others who are like on Front Street or the front line and are always talking or always presenting something. She kind of is laid back and is kind of in the cut, and I'm always just kind of keeping my eye on her because first of all, she's very smart, very intelligent, very artistic, and a lot of things that she does, she presents to me or she shows me, and I hang up her pictures and stories. Like all of her stuff is all across my classroom, just on my walls, on my windows, and so this is a great format, I think, for her to kind of present herself in a proud way, where she's presenting not just to me but to her peers as well. I think it has given her confidence to, be on the front line, just to not be secretively between me and her, me looking at something by myself with her, but maybe that she's able to share with others, that she's able to go out and maybe, search for a contest on her own because she is very good. And I tell her, that she's very talented, and I want her to, do that sort of thing, kind of research and see what else is out there so that maybe, her name could be in lights one day. I think that she could be a published author. She could write a whole book. She writes stories, she writes poetry, and she's very, she keeps everything. She's pulling stuff out and, working on things during class. Sometimes I have to tell her to put that away. But I feel like, as she gets older, if she has an audience, if she has the correct resources, she could probably be a published author. This is a wonderful way that students can be recognized by everyone, by their peers, by other adults, even if their parents maybe did not know what talents they had. Now, like with the guests that they brought, maybe those parents, could help them out as well by being aware of what their child is doing, if they didn't already know. I think the value of this program, it could give students a platform. Different cultures can bring people together. Again, it could give people an avenue as far as helping them learn more about themselves, and it could probably give them a great foundation in order to, again, be published authors, be, writers. From what I experienced, I would tell a donor that it is so important to support our youth.